Hello Junior Tuckies, I am Mrs. Breedenkamp, and in this lesson I'm going to be teaching you what parody, humor, and propaganda is when you are doing visual literacy and advertising. Let's get into it. What is parody in advertising? Parody actually means an imitation of the style of a particular writer, an artist, or genre with deliberate exaggeration for comic effect. So, it's to make fun of a certain product or an idea. Our famous Nando's does this very, very well. And it's almost like a tongue-in-cheek humor, teasing someone, making sure that you do not hurt their feelings, but you're still giving them a little bit of issues. So over here, I have shown an example about load shedding coming from Nando's. So looking forward to some light shedding. And then their little caption underneath, but will we have the energy? So this is a great example of how parody our life as South Africans when we have to go through load shedding is being used to be able to advertise for a takeaway place. Here are more examples of parody in advertising. So starting off with the Apple ad over here. So we have the perfect little logo. We are very familiar with this logo, but underneath it's appearance costs. So if many of you have iPhones or know people who have iPhones, often they are much more expensive than normal phones. So what the advertisers are doing over here is using parody. That Apple is, you actually buy it because you want to seem like you have a lot of money. Then the advert underneath that, Maybelline, maybe it's Photoshop. So once again, using humor and comedy to criticize how many women in the Maybelline ads look absolutely perfect. This isn't real, and more likely than not, it's Photoshop. Then the next ad, moneysgone.com. And there we can see the little icon for Amazon. So using parody, using a little bit of humor over here, saying Amazon takes your money. Then we move down to the caption of insecurity, and we can obviously see the icon over there. It looks like the Instagram icon. So this can also veer into the side of satire because of the fact that Instagram now is a societal problem where people do not feel like they are good enough. So this is an example of how it can be used. Then the next advert we have there is called Absolute Stupidity, where we have a car crash and an outline of a bottle. So we can link this to Absolute Vodka. So what's it saying over here? It's also criticizing the fact that people drink and drive. And by drinking and driving, you are displaying absolute stupidity. Then if we move on to the McDonald's one, they've used the logo, they've used the colors, but instead of saying McDonald's, it's Mac Diabetes. Now I'm sure you know with all of the processed food how bad McDonald's can be for you. Then if we move down, we see the Starbucks one. They've used the logo, but instead of saying Starbucks, it's Sugar Bomb Combos. So using humor to kind of point out the obvious over here. This isn't a true coffee shop that cares only about coffee. It also has really sweet drinks that people love. How can humor be used in advertising? Remember, go and revise the different types of humor we get in cartoons, and this can be easily taken over to adverts. So the different types of humor are a pun, where there's a play on words. Number 2, ambiguity, when a phrase has a double meaning. Number 3, sarcasm is when you say one thing but mean the other. Number 4, satire is when you are socially or commenting on a social or political issue in our world. Number 5, the overthrow of expectations, so leading us to have this massive expectation and we are thrown down, similar to anticlimax, where they raise our expectation and drop us like that. And then, of course, irony at the end. Here is an example of how humor has been used in advertising. Let's have a look at the Hoover advert first. So Hoover is a vacuum cleaner, a brand of vacuum cleaner, and it says over here as their slogan, "Our product sucks." So what type of humour is being used here? It's definitely a pun, because the word suck has the double meaning. So their products literally suck because it's a vacuum cleaner. And if we use it on the other opposite way, we can't even make sense of that idea. Why would an advert be saying that a product actually really sucks? It's bad. So we know that they mean the fact that their Hoover picks up any dirt. Then if we move down to the Burger King, chow down on an Italian chicken sandwich. So chow down over here, the phrase is ambiguity, or it's ambiguous. Why? Because the word chow can, in South African slang, means to eat. However, in Italy, it means hello and goodbye. So to chow down means to eat down, or to chow down, to eat a lot. So it is ambiguous over here. Then, going on to the next Burger King ad, why eat with a clown while you can dine with a king? Now, this we can look at and think that perhaps satire is being used over here. So commenting on the fact that you could either go eat at McDonald's and eat with a clown, Ronald McDonald, or you could go to Burger King and dine with a king. Then our last advert's over here, tested on animals. It is a food brand, and then it says they love it. So tested on animals over here, I think that an ironic spin has been put on this advert, because usually when you see something tested on animals, it is beauty products or hair products, and it's something that we don't want in our life, really, to know that animals have been hurt for us in the long run. So they've changed it around now and said tested on animals. This food has been tested on animals. And what is the result? They absolutely love it. So irony has been used here. What is propaganda? Propaganda is information, especially of a biased or misleading nature, used to promote a political cause or point of view. It also presents opinions as facts. They target very specific audiences. It focuses on stereotypes. And propaganda does not aim to promote the purchase of goods and services or viewpoints. What it actually aims to do is alter the public's perception of a specific subject. And it's often used to hide the truth or to tell a certain type of truth. Let's have a look at the different types of propaganda. So the first type of propaganda we're looking at is called card stacking. So this is when advertisers intentionally accentuate a specific point while downplaying another one to create like this blind spot. Then we get testimonial propaganda. So this is to sway people's ideas or thoughts about a certain product because they have a testimony from usually a celebrity, and that kind of convinces them to buy their product. Then number 3, we get the bandwagon. So this encourages the target audience to jump on board so they won't lose out. Then we get stereotypes. This is obviously oversimplifying assumptions about particular groups, and then it's also applied to specific people. Number 5, we have the transfer technique, where you unjustifiably link the audience's good association with something that's completely and totally different. Number 6, you get the glittering generalities. So this is when you adopt a sparkling generality in always to persuade the audience to support a particular notional idea. So making it shiny, spanking, brand new. And then lastly is the fear tactic. So this is when fear has been used to target a specific person or people, and it often is to refrain from a particular activity. Let's look at the different kinds of examples of propaganda. So number 1 would be the card stacking. So if you have a look at this Burger King adverts over here, you'll see that it's telling you that there's 40% less fat and 30% less calories. However, if you just didn't have fries to begin with, you wouldn't need to worry about something like that. So it's intentionally focusing on these percentages that are lower instead of telling us that actually chips are in a high fat content. Then we get number 2, which is the testimonial propaganda. Here we have a partnership between Nivea and Rihanna. Now, obviously, Rihanna does not use Nivea products. She has been contracted or signed a contract to be the spokesperson and give her testimony or her story of why she loves the products. This is how many advertisers catch people out. Then we get number 3, which is the bandwagon. So over here you can see that Oral-B is advertising their toothpaste. The slogan over here is, Australia, you've made the switch. Over 1 million Australians are using Oral-B products. So they're asking you to hop onto this trend so that you don't feel like you're being left out. Then number 4 is the stereotype. So in this particular advert, we have the stereotype of the mother who is cooking, she is cleaning, looking after the children, whereas we have the stereotype of the father as well, that he is the one as the breadwinner, he's the one working, he's the one worried about time. Then number 5, the transfer technique. So remember, that's when you are linking the audience's good association with something that has absolutely no relevance. So over here, brilliant adverts, so Coca-Cola adverts. Militant men drink Coca-Cola, the drink that fights back. So what is this doing over here? It's trying to link the fact that all the thoughts we have about military men, that they're brave, that they're loyal, and it's trying to make us link it to Coke, where Coke, brave, loyal, it's just a drink. Then we get number 6, the glittering generalities. So this is where you adopt this sparkling generality about something. So Pepsi has this particular slogan, that's what I like. And if you know a little bit of something about Pepsi, it was very popular in America in the 1990s, and they used the slogan because it was cool. So this glittering generality over here is, this is what I like. Everyone knew you were talking about Pepsi. And then, of course, the last one is the fear tactic. So over here, this is an advert warning people against taking meth. And it says over here, you will never worry about lipstick on your teeth again. Why? Because your teeth will be damaged from taking or smoking meth. Here are examples of propaganda in the past. So often propaganda was used during war times. Nearly all adverts were calling for men to go and sign up for their country to do their duty as a man. Now, you'll see over here this I want you for the US Army. That is a very famous advert. Uncle Sam over there pointing at the people. Come and join the army. Then if we look at the American Red Cross underneath that, our boys need socks, knit your bits. So this was an ad directed at women who needed to knit socks in order to give it to all of these soldiers. So in a very indirect way, you as a woman were helping in the war. Then corn, the food of the nation, serve some way every meal. So this is also the food of the nation, corn. So at the time in England, unfortunately, they were going through a lot of issues, as well as in America with the war. And food supplies were low. So what did they do? They created these ads about corn saying it's the food of the nation, the food of the people. Then if we look over to the next advert, it is actually King Kong over there, and the slogan says, destroy this mad brute, enlist. Now, what does enlisting in the army have anything to do with killing King Kong? Nothing. So what are they doing over here? They're trying to get your mind linked to the fact that being a military man means that you'll be the hero of the day. Then the last ad over here, this was actually aimed at women to go and work in usually male-dominated spaces during the war, because so many men were actually taken away from their jobs, so many men died, these jobs were becoming available. And this particular advert was almost like the new phase of feminism, saying we can do it too. We can be car mechanics, we can be doctors, we can do any job a man can. That's it for today, grade 10s. I really hope that my lesson explained the different elements of an advert to you. Good luck and goodbye.